Looking for that perfect game for your gaming console? Video Game Corner is the largest independently owned video gaming store in North Mississippi, located at 1519 Highway 72 in Corinth. We are an authorized limited-run retail store and have a massive collection of retro games and game systems, and also plush toys and collectibles. We also pay top dollar for your used video games. Check them out Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Visit Video Game Corner in Corinth.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I'm your host, AirsoftAL, and I wanted to kind of step away from my usual video content of either media reviews or tech videos or anything of that nature, and really talk about another passion of mine, or at least one that I like to enjoy in just for giggles. And that, of course, is blasters.
Excuse me, what?
Yes, I do like to Nerf. In fact, this is one of my favorite little Nerf blasters I actually do like to rock. This is actually the old-fashioned this is the Elite Force Hyperfire. Again, I just kind of like this because of the way it is. And this kind of rolls into one of the subjects I kind of wanted to touch on. And I think I haven't really done a video on this before, is blasters that could translate pretty well into Airsoft. And I say this because the two blasters I'm talking about today could very well be actually well implemented to Airsoft.
Bullshit.
Now, before I continue on to this, these two blasters are not exactly quote-unquote Nerf brand. These are the blasters that are actually produced by a Asian company, not going to say, I only say Asian because I don't know if they're China, Taiwan, or otherwise, known as Worker. Worker has a reputation of being one of those companies that actually makes really cool blasters. And makes really good blasters. In fact, again, if memory serves correctly, because I actually did live through this, without them we wouldn't have, of course, the Katana magazines that we have today. Again, I may be wrong on that, and you are more than welcome to correct me in the comments section, just don't be an asshole about it. So what are the two blasters I'm talking about today? Well, the two blasters in question is the Worker Phoenix and the Swift. Let's start with the Phoenix first, shall we? The Phoenix is a flywheel-driven blaster, but has the characteristics of more than a number of SMGs. The Phoenix itself, it looks like an amalgamation of an MP7, MP9, and I swear to God, I wish I was joking on this, a Mac 11 just for good measure. I mean, seriously, are you seeing this blaster right now? Do you not see this thing? Brings us to the next question. How could this be done in Airsoft? Well, if Worker was to ever come into Airsoft, it would actually be relatively easy. The profile design itself, you could actually use a MP7 style gearbox, or even the other gearboxes that we have for submachine guns. A good way to do it would be to kind of work with that. I mean, hell, I have an MP7, a Tokyo Marui, honestly, MP7 gearbox in my parts bin. I just need an MP7 body for it. Not only that, but the way the magazine is designed, you could go the route of saying, okay, why not use, that MP7 gearbox and use MP7 magazines, unless you could go the route of the popularity that's coming on right now with the ARPCCs. As someone who has built his own ARPCC, well, you can definitely understand why the popularity could be good to use the same style magazines that are currently ubiquitous in use. Besides, of course, the obvious MP5 style magazines that are, again, ubiquitous right now, you could also go with, of course, the other magazines that we have in the sport. be they the G&G, the KWA, or even the Chris Vector magazines. But if you really wanted to go with that whole route of a straight style magazine, besides of course the straight MP5 mags that we have on the market right now, which with the way these are, and of course the other ones, I don't think that'd be a good idea to try and go for MP5 magazines. You could go with the KWA magazines, or even bring back the AEP Uzi magazines. Again, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section of how a Worker Phoenix could be done today, of what magazines should be used. Should they be, of course, the MP5 style magazines to give that nice curved effect, or even a straight magazine that we have on the market right now? Now, the Worker Phoenix itself is about $183.21. Now, granted, that's on Etsy, and the prices do range from where you get one. You also have, of course, the Phoenix 2.0, which, again, depending on where you get this from, it can be anywhere between the 180s to damn near 250s. So again, it depends on where you get the Worker Phoenix from. But again, this could be a really cool design for an SMG, or even a PDW if you really wanted to go for it. It's a design that no one has on the market. It's not based off of real steel, and it makes it so that way it's completely different from your standard MP7, MP9, or any sort of that form of Mac 11 style, Mac 11, Mac 10 style SMG. And in my opinion, I could see it, if it was made in Airsoft, actually go about the same price, around the $100 price tag. Now again, this is speculation purely, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section on what you think the Worker Phoenix would go for if it was made in Airsoft. Now moving on to a pump action Springer.
No, 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 no. Oh, hell no.
Before everyone loses their goddamn shit, hear me out. We move on, of course, to the Swift. The Swift is a pump-action, performance-based Springer that is not only has, of course, this cool built-in suppressor, as you can see from the photo itself, but also is mostly a half-length dart-fed blaster. The actual mechanism itself takes down like an AR-15, where you have two pins holding the upper and the lower together. This makes it a lot easier to be able to swap out springs. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where things can really come into effect. Now, obviously, the idea of a pump-action Springer is nothing new in Airsoft. In fact, one of my current shotguns that I have, which I got from, well, my friends, is no exception. Much like anything of a Mossberg that you've seen in the sport, or even an 870, which is a single-barrel, magazine-fed pump rifle with a hop-up clearly exposed, the concept is nothing new to Airsoft. However, the idea from the Swift is that it's meant to be a performance-based blaster. It's meant to be sort of like that sharpshooter blaster. So what could it bring to the sport that, you know, others haven't done in a while? Three things that I'll get into, but let me go ahead and put up the shotgun here. Point number one is the Swift could be a good game changer for a lot of Springer-based rifles. It could be a great spring-based sniper rifle, simply because you are pumping it instead of actually articulating a bolt. The other element of its big, and I mean the big appeal for it, is the fact of it's easy to take down and swap out the spring. I'm not joking on this. You could literally take the upper off and you're able to swap out the spring for a lower FPS spring. Imagine that. You want to play with this as a pump rifle and not a sniper rifle in a CQB field, you could basically take the upper off and you can literally swap out the spring for something a little bit lower FPS, more CQB friendly, but everything else in the upper remains the same. Again, that alone is cool, and the modularity could be done. And while, yes, you could complain saying, oh, it's going to be a full-length rifle, that's not to say that you can't do something with it to make it a little bit more compact. I mean, there's going to be people out there who are probably going to take the design, modify it so you not only, of course, have a shorter rifle for CQB, but something for more urban play. Now, the big element of it is going to be the sniper effect. Imagine you having a sniper rifle that literally you have to pump instead of prime, like with a bolt. A pump is much more easier than bolting than actuating a bolt. Yes, I know people are going to argue about that in the comment section. I personally like to pump more than I like to bolt, in my opinion. Now, Obviously, because it's a pump versus a bolt, that's where things are going to get a little bit more hectic, and it's going to cause a little bit more issues for people because they're going to have to learn new manual of arms. Again, it's semantic at that point in time, and I'm just going to let you guys do that. That's not a part of the second point. The second point is going to be magazines. While, yes, the lower is designed for accepting, of course, half-length darts, i.e., submachine gun style magazines, or at least pistol caliber carbine style magazines, that's not to say that you couldn't have it to where it accepts other points. The cool thing about Airsoft is that no matter what, you have different lowers and different styles to accept different types of magazines. Or at least, you know, just make it to where you can have something run, say, a pistol caliber carbine magazine or a full-length rifle caliber cartridge magazine. And that's kind of a cool concept with the Swift, because again, the Swift is a upper and a lower and an upper. It takes apart like an like an Armalite rifle. So let's say you don't want to run pistol caliber carbine style magazines, but you want to run full-length rifle magazines. Well, again, there's a lot that can be done with that, and a lot that can be going for it. Let's say you want to have a pump-action AK magazine fed. Okay then, swap the lower with a AK lower. Let's say you want to run M4 magazines. Okay, swap it for an M4 lower. Let's say you want to run pistol caliber cartridge magazines. Okay, swap that fucker out. Again, the Swift is one of those pump-action blasters that has a cool concept and a cool idea that could very well change sniping in Airsoft, because you don't have to use particular magazines. There are 3D printed kits out there that allow people to actually use Airsoft actual AEG magazines and midcaps for their rifles and turn them into the 5.56 223 Ruger bolt-action rifle, i.e. the real-life varmint rifle. But the big thing about it is that if we were to able to make this into an Airsoft gun, essentially, there is so much that can be done with it. Again, you essentially have a pump-action sniper rifle or a pump-action rifle that can feed a variety of magazines. And again, I let you argue in the comments section of what kind of pistol caliber carbine magazine you should that this should use if it was the base model in Airsoft. Now, I hear everyone asking, what is the price tag for it? Well, on Amazon, where it goes under the JGC Works Swift blaster, it is $175.99. Now, again, there's the third point. This could be a very affordable blaster if done right. If done right, this could be an affordable sniper rifle or an affordable pump rifle. Something that actually is that good go-between for a lot of people. And again, there are many different ways this could be done, and I really do wish people would actually take a look at this thing and actually look at its potential for Airsoft. I know there are going to be detractors in the comments section, but hear me out. Nerf is catching up with Airsoft in terms of modularity, in terms of customization, in terms of performance. Nerf is slowly beating Airsoft because the Nerf blasters are starting to take more of a form of regular real steel firearms. Hell, there's a shell-ejecting Glock in 1911 that shoots little darts, and they're even belt-fed, honest-to-God belt-fed, fully gearbox-powered M249s and MG3/42 blasters that are not only semi-automatic, but also fully automatic. Go watch Derek 4 Gaming Dragon. Go watch Derek 4's videos on these. They're honest to God really awesome. And again, it doesn't end there. They even have Worker even has something called a Wasteland Ranger, which is a $15.88 little double barrel shotgun. Imagine the possibilities. It's basically a spring-powered goblin, if you remember those back in the day. And again, it's one of those just... Nerf is starting to really catch up. The blasting community is really starting to catch up with Airsoft and paintball, making really cool blasters and just, honest to God, really awesome stuff that we should really look at for Airsoft. But those are the two blasters I wanted to bring up, ladies and gentlemen, and really that's about it. I'd like to hear from you in the comments section what you think about the two blasters I brought up today and how you think they could be made for Airsoft and whether or not they should be made for Airsoft. Or if we should really take a look at the blaster community and kind of take some lessons from them for Airsoft. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, and if you want to come talk to me about this sort of thing, or help support the channel, there are links down below to a Discord and the PayPal. Or if you want to help support me directly and actually help me acquire some of these blasters to check out, then of course you can donate to my Amazon directly. If you want to learn how to donate to the Amazon directly, then please contact me via Discord down below. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, and I will see all you lovely, lovely people in the next video. Till next time, later.